like you didn't want to experience. What was that pain and what?
Disappointment, embarrassment, humiliation, any negative emotion that you can imagine I experienced in Rio. I feel like I've lost a lot in that moment, in that opportunity. I felt like a lot of people were doubting my abilities and my ability to come back here and represent the United States and bring home hardware. And so that was difficult, right? As being a leader of this program, everyone expected me to be a gold medalist every single year, right? And so going from not repeating in Rio to not even being expected to make the team, obviously it was a tough day. I commend Kyle Dake. Really, it was interesting because last year, Kyle and David both moved up to 86, right? So I really had no one to elevate me to the next level. And so with Kyle being back down, I understand that, listen, this guy's nipping at your heels, right? I understand I'm getting older, a little bit slower, right? It's a little bit harder to get up in the morning and go to practice. And I know he's still hungry to make a team. But this is 7 in a row for me. You know, I don't know if there's anyone in this arena that's made 7 teams in a row. So it's pretty special. It's incredible. Like, it's so cool, dude. I woke up the day of weigh-ins in my own house, made me breakfast in my kitchen, worked out in my own wrestling room, drove here to weigh-ins, and then went and cooked food for myself after weigh-ins. So I got to wake up, see my babies in the morning. My entire family's here. My daughter Aura's first birthday is tomorrow, and so we're having a big birthday party for her tomorrow. Then my wife and I were going to Mexico on Tuesday. So regardless of how this day turned out, we knew it was going to be a pretty special week for us. But to do it here in Lincoln is incredible, man. Coach Manning, Coach Snyder, they don't get paid for this. This is an extracurricular activity, but they want to be the best in the world. And they want to prove that what they do here goes way beyond NCAA titles and Big Ten championships. And James and I were able to do that tonight.
Jordan, the most critical points in that second match came at the end when you countered a move to force the third period. Can you just talk about that?
That was incredible, dude. Kyle is tough, man. I just stayed focused. I knew that I had a high. When I go hard, I'm hard to keep up with, right? When I'm wrestling hard and I'm staying focused and I'm moving my feet and I'm using my hands and I'm getting to the legs, I'm hard to counter, I'm hard to score on. So I knew if I could do that, regardless of what he had done throughout the rest of the day, how much energy he had saved up, I know that even if we were both fresh, I've got a 5th gear that he can't compete with. And so I was confident in that, regardless of the situation. And I was just fortunate, man. I was able to keep my balance. I was able to stay focused in that late period, and I got a great call with the 1 point, right? Like, I'm no dummy. I know when I'm fortunate. I know when calls go in my favor. And, I just think about it like, here today, he scored all his points in the first period, right? First match, he scored 6, and I scored 1. Right, second match in the first period it was 3-0, right? But then second match I think I won 8-4. First match was 6-6. So I scored 14 points in the second period, and he scored 1. Right? So like that's crazy. Like I know that statistically, just wrestling and going back to the wrestling room and focusing. Like I'm a second period guy. I know when it comes down to it, I can keep up. And it's going to be difficult for him too.
Jordan, here at the Devaney, when that clock went down to 0, what was that feeling like?
Incredible, incredible. I've been dreaming of wrestling here for years. I've dreamed of this, right? When I was in college, we had the old wrestling room that was down in the dungeon, and this place wasn't yet to be renovated. And I definitely didn't have a banner up in the corner. And so, to be in this place and to show everyone from around the world who's never been to Lincoln and think that it's only cornfields here, that we have an amazing place, not only amazing city, amazing facilities, but an amazing program with amazing people that are a part of it. And now we've got 2 world team members. It's pretty cool.
Jordan, you haven't been backed in a corner like that, having to win 2 in a row. What's going through your mind in the back, waiting for match 2?
Give the fans something to cheer about. I'm usually the last match of the night, and they put Kyle last, and so I wanted to be last, right? And so I think it was cool that I was able to be the last match regardless. It wasn't planned though. I wish I could have pulled out that first match. I was hoping to, but in this sport it's understandable, right? Like you try not to make the refs get in position to call certain things that will favor you, but realistically, you try to play the game, right? Like, oh, this guy's pulling my fingers when you're doing the finger pull, right? This guy's hitting me in the face when really I'm hitting him, right? Or just playing the edge, making sure I can get him on passivity, like little things. I've become really savvy and really smart in my older age. And so I'm 28 now, I'll be 29 in July, and I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man.
Gentlemen, that'll do it for Kyle.